Hola, Lilian. Hey! See? You're not ugly looking. It wasn't a thing.
Oh, it was totally it. I'll change over here. There we go. Very ugly.
Hey, first question. How is it living in Florida? Do you like it?
First question, why are my tech skills so bad?
Yeah, that should be one of them. But how do you like it living there?
Well, it's hot. Today, we're already up into 85 degrees, and the last couple of days of the beginning of July has just been steamy.
Yeah, the steam. I mean, I live in a place where today has been steamy, but it's not as bad probably because we're not completely surrounded by water. So
That
you've
just
been here.
means thunderstorms. I mean, look at the beautiful clouds coming in soon. That'll be a thunderstorm later.
Hey, so how is it being there on a time where it should be like on season, but there's nobody going because the virus, or is it like still full? It doesn't matter.
We get groceries about once a week and just stock up and stay home and use the internet for just about everything.
So you're
Um,
not seeing what's going on.
I don't spend a lot of time outside the house now.
Are you scared of it? I'm scared of it.
No. I
I
mean, you know what I did for work, right? I traveled to many events and visited a lot of places. And I mean, I must have been exposed to 1,000 germs on planes and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, but it's
I
not
mean,
the
the
same.
general precautions are, don't touch your tray and then touch your mouth. And, you know, I wouldn't sterilize everything when I would travel a lot. But, it's just being conscious, when you get in your room, take a quick shower, those kind of stuff.
Well, I have a little like alcohol spray, which
Hmm.
funny. Ever since this whole thing happened, the spray, the alcohol smells like vodka. You know, like the
Well,
day
yeah, they
after
all
you drink
transitioned.
vodka, it's disgusting. So I just spray my students everywhere, just like on their face and normal stuff.
That's
Yeah.
normal.
I'm like, get away from me. Just like spraying them. I don't want to get sick. I have a little baby. Get away from me. So that's what I do.
Well, and that's the biggest thing about all the virus stuff is I'm like, because I follow the news and a little bit of science stuff, but like the fact that kids aren't being hurt by it is so thankful. And
Yeah.
I've been really, really happy for that.
Well, mainly, I mean, I don't know there, but here there's babies sick. I think I read. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Let's not talk about that and talk
You want
about
to talk
something
about
else.
babies? How big are your kids? Do you measure them by the height yet?
No, I measure them by their feet. So like
Oh.
my little baby was like that, and now she's here. You know?
You measure the foot on their
Yeah,
face?
I love face.
Haven't thought of doing that. I
That
usually, as like my 10-year-old and my 6-year-old, it's like, because
that's
they're at this point, that's like,
yeah. They're trying to beat you. But that's how I know that my little one's gonna be taller than my other one because Vera, my older one, her foot like didn't reach my nose until like she was about almost a year, and my little one's like here. So I know she's gonna be bigger.
understand.
Or she's just gonna have huge feet. But um, so I have the most important question for you first. Are you ready?
Sure.
How did we meet? I don't know. I don't remember when we met.
I remember one of the earliest pictures I have of you and I is Four Continents in Korea. Remember, and Yuna Kim was dressed in her like traditional Korean garb. I took pictures with her, and now I look at it later. I was like, oh my goodness, and she
Valuable
was
stuff. It's probably worth money now.
probably in Korea. It's huge in Korea right now. But we met there. We also Four Continents in Colorado Springs. I mean, you got more elite earlier than me. That's the thing. Like I didn't go to Worlds in DC. You were, yeah,
I mean, in my terms.
exactly.
Okay, thanks. Um, the elite one was my sister first. She was like this tiny person that was like triple, 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 triple. I don't know why she never did that like in competition, but she was very talented. Anyway, so let's talk
Well,
about
that's the hard thing is practice, and I mean, my whole success actually making the Olympics is like I'm not the most talented guy. I mean, I can name, John Hunt, this perfect physique, and the struggles and the issues that came up in their careers that prevented their success to that level, I mean, I can't say why. And that's the hardest thing for kids with the virus and what's going on for like high school kids is, oh my goodness, this is, and there's always things that are going to come up and always, I mean, there's a lot of me that's like, I would have been just fine having not made to the Olympics. And I mean, I'm an older person and I think it's easier to rationalize. I think when you're a kid, you're like, I have to do this and this is the only thing I can do. And it feels an overbearing weight. But I mean, I look back and it's like, there are so many people that are happy doing this job or that job or having reached this level of education or not this level. And I think, we as athletes, we just put so much pressure on ourselves that it's hard to let go. And I think that's my one asset, that I was able to always rationalize and let go of stuff.
I'm going to cry a little. I think you're being very deep, because I thought of that the same way, like I never wanted the Olympics. So when I didn't make the Olympics by like a hair, it was like, fine.
But you're the first, though. You'll forever be the first Mexican skater to do both the free skate and the short program.
True. But what I really wanted was to be respected. And I remember, a couple of skaters that I competed against at that world championship. I remember before, like, they would be like, oh, what, like, just hi and whatever. But like, I remember their face, like when I would skate by or like do something in front of them, they would be like double taking and being like, what? And like getting closer to the board. And I was like, okay, now I got their respect. So I'm fine. Like, I've made it. And that's
but that's the thing too. Like 2005, the first time I saw the Chinese pair teams, that's fast. And I'm thinking, I'm fast. I'm from a big country, blah, blah. No, they're faster than me.
Hey, you just mentioned something I wanted to know. Like, do you think that being from like a bigger political country with like bigger results or better results has skaters having like I don't know, like I feel like the confidence you have going somewhere, like that just adds to your confidence, like, oh, I can do this because I come from, like, this team's backing me up. Do you think that helps?
I would say that to get to the point to be an elite skater in a bigger country, because, you have been competing. I think it's the opportunities to compete. I've seen this when I've come down to Mexico and, I see and it's like, oh, that's our best skater. And it's like, it's not given when there are less competitors and like, you're the best because you're the best. You're the big fish in the little pond. Like, everybody gives you space. Whereas, I mean, are you kidding? In the United States, I'm waiting for the next, pair team to come rush me by, or, it's always a fight, and there were other great pair teams that could have taken our spot at any of the competitions. And so you're always clawing. And so I don't think it's necessarily the confidence comes more from the fact that you've already, had to build and be competing. And there's so much more. I mean, look at all the competitions in the US. You could find a non-qualifying in normal times almost every weekend. So even if you are Alyssa Liu and you want to go try your triple axel at a competition, you could sign up for a senior ladies event and go compete it with judges and have the ice to yourself. And I mean, is there a competition every weekend in Mexico?
No.
And that, in Switzerland, I know there's probably not. In the wintertime there is, but in summer, if you're, hey, let's try something new. And that's the thing in Russia too. I mean, they have all these competitions, boom, 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 through the fall. And I mean, I know a lot of their elite kids go event to event to event.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, it was definitely something that was very intimidating for somebody that comes from a smaller, like, country. Like, I'm not going to say names, but I remember somebody that represented a big country and then decided to represent a smaller country because she didn't make it anymore. And we're standing there and she had won this international B competition and she's behind me in the like results after the short. And she was pissed. And she's like, I don't get it. Like, she's talking to me and she's like, I don't get it. I'm like, yeah, welcome to the smaller countries. And like, she was pissed. I mean, but you're right. Like, if she had been stronger, she would still represent this other country anyway.
I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, and that's the thing is I look at some of our elite ladies and, they've been super successful and then they maybe have a stumbling block of a season for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. But like, they're all strong personalities because they've been tested so much through competition and you have to have that confidence. They know they can do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one thing and I think that's why a lot of skaters like yourself, you came to Simsbury and competed. How many local U.S. figure skating competitions did you do?
In the US?
Yeah, didn't you do a
Not that
bunch?
many because I had to pay from Mexico to fly somewhere. And then once they're like moving around, like probably like two in the summer.
Yeah, but you did our summer competitions,
Yeah.
like Liberty, didn't
Liberty.
you? Yeah,
Yeah.
you did Liberty. And that's not a super far drive, and yes, it had a hotel and stuff, but like,
Yeah.
so. But didn't that feel like a big competition? Didn't it have that, you had the warm up, you could be last of six skaters, which you don't often get to practice in Mexico as a senior lady, do you?
No, but you may be 10th. Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, maybe not as a senior. It might be 8th or 6th or 7th, you know? We don't really follow ISU rules every time because there's not, like, if you're only going to have 8 girls, they might split it 4 and 4 if it's a smaller rink. But, like, if not, they might go 8. And
Well,
that's
and it might save cost and ice time, and that's why they allow that.
true.
In the U.S., our rule book says no unless a chief ref says.
Are you a referee too?
I just got my regional referee appointment.
Ooh, I didn't know that. So this
Yeah.
is everybody. Mark's a referee too. See, important stuff going on.
Very judgy.
So when did you start skating and why?
I grew up in North Dakota, and in the town I'm at, there's like 30,000 people, but like we have all these nice city parks, and they have these little earthen dikes, and if you don't know much about it, it's basically like the North Pole, and water gets poured out, it freezes, and you got a warming house, and so that's where I first skated, and then I joined the Learn to Skate, the basic skills program U.S. Figure Skating had, and like every kid there, I started doing hockey, and I loved doing hockey. It was fun. I ended up finding I enjoyed being a goalie, and I find out later in life, goalies are like that guy. Like they're a little different. They're team players, but they're over here. And that was me. I was the goalie. We got second all city Pee Wee, and then when it came to go to the next level, I wasn't like the best, and so they had other kids they picked. And yeah, I was like,
But you
it's
went
okay.
to the Olympics and they didn't.
Later, but that was a hard come home from practice and I didn't get picked. That's rejection, that's hard.
You had to
And
learn.
my sister was really sweet and said, you should try the figure skating. And I was, to this day, I will always laugh. They say skating is a community. Like I joined and it was like, hey, do you need anything? You want to hang out? And, we're having these parties and the club had social events. And I mean, we were really like family, not like, like there were these 30 best friends. I mean, there's 2 guys in the whole club. He didn't make the Olympics, but he became a doctor. So
I'm opening my mouth. Like I don't see skating that way.
no, it's totally, they were so inviting and, it was a good time. And the coaches that brought me up were, I'll never forget because I married my prom date to high school. And I remember because the coach was like, your senior year, I'm talking about all the skating plans and stuff. And she's like, you don't have a prom date yet. I'm like, no. She's like worried about, your social and fitting in. And, oh yeah, there's a girl I could ask. I really like her. I could go ask her. She might
No
say yes.
way.
And so I did ask her and, I surprised her. I'd known her forever, but,
You
it
were
worked out.
mean.
So yeah, she's not a skater.
I know. I remember you telling me this a while ago, but I didn't know the story. This is really
Yeah.
cool.
So yeah. So I mean, they were always great coaches, and so all through high school, and I'm still friends with many of them. I saw a bunch of them when I went home. I'm now 20 years from graduating high school. We had our 20th reunion just recently. So
That's so cool. Well, to be honest, when I was living in San Jose, California, or like the Bay Area, because then I was like Mountain View and like whatever, Silicon Valley. I had the hardest time with figure skating. Like it was bad. Like they
really,
started rumors that I was an undocumented Mexican and things like that. Like, and this is like the people from the rink, like, and they needed help, but they didn't want me because I was Mexican, or I don't know. That sounded like that. If they're saying
no,
I'm
it's not.
undocumented Mexican, I mean, come on. But then that's why I was like, no, you know what? I'm just gonna start doing speed skating. Screw that. I'm gonna do speed skating. And they were so welcoming and so nice. And they're like, what do you need?
That's still the ISU,
What?
That's still the ISU. Speed skating is.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you don't know.
I'm like the worst tech person. My battery's almost dead, so I'm looking for my battery. I apologize that I'm moving.
I mean, I know it's ISU, but it's not figure skating community figure skating. It was bad.
It's still ASU.
Shut up. Anyway.
Hey, it's the same pot that takes care of the events.
So,
all right.
So you did singles for how long?
Oh, these are the best. I had like Robin Hood Men in Tights. I did a Dick Tracy performance that was pretty good. And I mean, you know, your little programs where you're a little kid and you're like, oh my gosh. So.
And when did you, like, why pairs?
I had always done pairs. That was one of the things is, see if I can turn this. Nope, it doesn't flip. So from my club was Matt Evers. And before I graduated, he had won the junior pair title.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh, you know, and so that's the thing is, you know, like you being the first and skaters will be like, oh, well, Anna made, you know, worlds. And, you know, that's the thing is if you see people making it, you believe you can do it. And so here the guy that was right in front of me, and I don't know, have you ever seen Dancing with the Stars in England?
Yeah.
So Matt Evers.
Okay.
He's one of the pros. He skates with all the, and he's got this huge following and he's literally huge in the UK. So.
How can somebody go and skate while you're undocumented? I was not undocumented. My husband was working for Google then, so that's why we went there. He bothers me a lot. He's a little bit like you, but you're nicer. He's not. Help out. But anyway, did you have like favorite stuff to do, like elements and things like that? I'm going through the basic get to know Mark questions.
Well, come on, you know I was a lift guy. Come on, we did lifts at like every banquet. Yeah, and PSA.
Well, yeah, anytime you see Mark, and I could be like, I just had a baby yesterday, and I'm like 40 pounds overweight. He's like, I can lift you. I swear, I can lift you. And I'm like, oh, no, please don't. I feel so bad. You're like, okay, you're up in the air. I don't know.
Well, that was our thing. That's my one claim to fame. So do you notice the protocols for pairs now? Everybody does 2 group 5 lifts?
No. I have no idea anything about pairs.
So pairs has the 5 groups of lifts.
Okay.
And the way they write the rules is you have to do 1 from a 3-4, and then the other 2 can be whatever. And it's funny because like, I was like, well, then why don't we just do 2 group 5s? We get more points. So when you look at the protocol from the free skate in 2010, we got 10th place overall, but we're the #1 element that's got the most points. We got like 8.15.
Huh.
So more than their triple twist or their triple, like we had one lift at 10th place that was the one single highest element scoring.
Yeah, so if you guys ever see Mark, it doesn't matter if you don't know him, just go like, lift me, and he's just going to lift you.
Yeah.
He does. You could be anywhere, and you're like, if you try to find him and just like see people on top of each other, like just in the air, it's probably...
Usually you find a group of us, and all the pair people are like picking up people. Yeah.
Do you even like work out anymore so you don't, you know, you're like okay with not getting injured, or you just go for it?
I'm not a brute force lifter. That's the thing. I'm like a magician lifter. So if you jump, I'm the second stage rocket. So you have to jump, your energy and your weight is moving, and then I finish it off. I don't try to, that's the funny thing is I'm not picking you up deadlift.
You're just locking your elbows. Is that it? In a way?
Yeah, but the momentum has to be there. You have to be moving, and then I continue it.
Okay. So you're
work smarter, not harder.
So you're a physicist.
Sure.
Damn it, I forgot what I was gonna ask you. Like you went somewhere, then I want to ask you something.
Go where? How many countries? I went to every Grand Prix.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're so fancy.
Yeah, that's what you get for hanging out so long.
Well, yeah, I did 10 years of senior as a skater.
So which was your favorite Grand Prix, though?
I didn't do Grand Prix. I did junior Grand Prix. I was not invited. When I made the final round, I was told, like, oh, we might invite you to this one, and I never got the invite. So that's sad.
Sorry.
Yeah. So you're popular, too. It doesn't matter, you know?
I'm not, no.
Yeah. Oh, I remember. See, popular, Mark. I remember.
Yeah.
You're saying, like, you are, like, off stage, or what was it? What was, like, the phrase you just used? Like, the guitar, you just used, like, an analogy just now when I called you a physicist. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is you were one of those fair skaters. It didn't matter if you changed like partners. Usually, like you remember the girl, but like I don't know. Like I'm not into pairs that much, but I would remember you. Like it was like even if I didn't know you, you're like rememberable for some reason.
That's what I told you earlier with my tech difficulties. You know, a face for radio, so ugly you can't forget me.
Well, it's not about being ugly, man. It's about like I don't know. You have something like it's like I don't know. Like, you have like a way of interacting with people that it just makes you remember you. Like it didn't matter if you switched. You were
So like I found later that I was most successful when I can focus, but I can't focus forever. You know, so like I would find right before we get on the ice to do the 6 minutes or whatever, I'd go and talk to like the flower girls and all the little ones and
oh god.
And be like, hey, how you doing? And it would freak them out. You know, and everyone else is usually like,
yeah.
I'm getting on the ice. I'm going to get ready. I have my program. And I'm over here going, dude, that's a nice outfit. Are you the best flower girl? Who's the best flower girl? You know, and be like,
oh god.
And so you got to remember my coaches and partner, they got used to it. But I'll never forget the one time they're like, you got to get over here and focus. I'm like, oh, I will. Just not right now.
yeah, not today. Yeah, I had one of these Instagram lives with Jeji Shin. Remember Jeji from Korea? And she was like telling me that to her it was very impressive how I'd be singing. And I was like, yeah, like I thought I was being respectful and not singing loud enough to bother anyone. She's like, no, you were singing. And you were like, that's the way you were coping. And I was like, hey, everybody. And everyone would just look down. And like, it was very, I don't know. I got a little embarrassed that everybody's like, I'm not a great singer.
That's what they remember of you, is that you're a singer.
Really? Holy shit, this is so bad. Sorry, I just said a bad word too. Anyway, let's change the subject. So did you had any like superstition?
When I was really little, Carrie Leach came and Luddy came to our rink in a seminar. You know, you have a group seminar, and they were telling the story of Christy Yamaguchi always puts on her left boot, and you've heard those. So I would always put on my left boot. I was like, if it's good enough for her, and so it was always that thing, like, because you know, like you're tied to two boots, and if you do this one and the second one, might, you know, you're used to it. So I always did my left and my right. That was like the only. It wasn't even a superstition. It made it more comfortable to go. And there's certain times I'm sure I put on my right boot and then my left, but for the most part, it was just trying to have like a consistent routine, because that was the only other thing. People would say it was a superstition, but you saw us warm up, right?
No.
Amanda and I, you don't remember?
But I don't remember.
So our warm-ups, whether it was the Olympics in 2010 or 2 years earlier at Nationals, it was always the same.
Always the same. Like you couldn't. Like,
we did a couple running laps, and we did this lift, and we did that lift, the same lift.
So you kept
Alfred,
the same lifts.
Yeah, Alfred is asking if it came from Christy. I don't know if it came from Christy, but the coach at the time told me that's what she did, and so I did it because I was thinking, well, she's a gold medalist, and you know, you do like smart people do, right?
Of course. I mean, I used to do my left foot on, but like put it on, and then the right, and then I'll type the right.
Yeah. So you had a system. I don't even call it
system.
Yeah, it's a system.
Yeah.
I have a special guest. This is my girlfriend.
Don't tell your wife.
Oh, Stella. Stella.
Hey, my daughter's name, my baby's name is Sabina, but my husband didn't want one name, so we decided Sabina Estella.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, so
yes, sorry.
No,
sorry.
I mean, don't be sorry. You're a very hard person to interview. I mean, to prepare for. I mean, we could just talk about.
I told you I'm ugly.
It's not that. It's just like there's no much gossip about you written down on the internet.
No.
No. What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't really gossipy.
No. Yeah.
I'm boring. I mean, I went to the party, I had fun, and I slept. Go back to my bed. I was on time. I never missed a bus.
No. Dorky? No.
I was usually carrying people home for them. I was like, let's help. You people had too much fun. I'll carry you home.
Okay, so are you a Star Wars or Star Trek fan? That's a very important question.
I'm both.
You like Star Trek?
I just, because of the Netflix, I've never seen the original series. So I'm, the one with Archer and the origin one. And I've been trying to watch, I'm trying to spread it out because I could binge it all. But, yeah, I don't know. Deep Space Nine was a little bit of a letdown. I was trying to like it, but.
Hey, we've never spoken about this. I really like Star Trek. And I
But
just tried Deep Space Nine. I just quit. I quit.
you got it. The Ferengis were cool, and some of the. It's just they were trying to be Jean-Luc Picard. You know how Jean-Luc Picard was like this serious Shakespearean actor and unflappable, and even when he was surprised, he was like, "Oh." But the actors, I think, tried to embody Enterprise so much that they weren't their own characters.
This is so funny that we're talking about this. I
Oh,
mean,
but it's true. I have
and
so many figurines and of both Star Wars and Star Trek. Actually, one of my little toys are little Star Wars figurines, and I have them in this one little wine box, and the kids play with it, and they know if they're done, they can play with it anytime they want, my kids. But they know it's Daddy's toys. We put them
oh,
back in the box when we're done because I
good.
don't want the dogs to chew on them and stuff. So like, I mean, they're from like 1988. They're these little tiny little die-cast figures and stuff.
So they're worth money.
No, they're well played with, and they should be. Yeah, that's the thing. It's hard for me. Toys should be played with.
Okay, good. I open them too all the time. Even for my daughters, I'm like, oh, this is a collection of something, and I open it for her. Whatever.
Oh, I'm a little phobic of questions. Oh, no, I got a second dog. Come on, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, as a quick Star Trek wrap up note, I watched like Enterprise like 15 times, the whole season, like the whole series. But then I just watched the one, what's it called, Voyager.
Yeah,
And
Voyager's not bad.
I'm in love with Janeway. So like, let's just wrap it up there.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Voyager's good. But did you like the Rise of the Skywalkers, the Skywalkers, the last Star Wars?
I've not watched the last one. I'm not that interested.
Okay.
Anyway, okay. So I have a quick question for you. So after the Olympics, why didn't you quit? Like, why did you want to continue and find a new partner and whatnot?
I thought we were just hitting our stride. You know, to like even going to school and getting your degree or figuring out like even coaching, you know, it took a while to understand I have a process of how I want to coach. So as we got to be elite skaters, because I mean, even at that age, I was 30 and I've always older. Like my first triple loop was when I was 25.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
My first like real triples were about 20. Yeah.
Yeah. And
We're
so, and that's the thing. So I'm an older skater. And so when I felt like we're just getting the train rolling, we're getting understanding competing. So at that point, it was like, you know, they got a shot for Sochi. I think we were really starting to get better and better. So
was it weird? Like, okay. So after you quit skating, was it weird? I remember you did the exhibition at the PSA competition with
it was good, eh?
By the way, but it was very. I got goosebumps because you guys were so real. You were.
She was nailing those. That the only hiccup was the loop, but she had nailed it all week long. It was like That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, like you busting out, but it doesn't matter if we don't do it in the competition. Like Amanda came with the mindset. She was telling me, she's like, I want to do this to win. And I'm like, okay. I mean, we were no, seriously, we were training programs every day. We were doing warm-ups like normal. We did this. I said about warm-ups, we'd still do the same lift routine, and then we'd go on the ice. Like it was legit.
Well, it looked really cool. Like it just kind of flowed. But my question is, do you guys, or did you, because you did have like another partner in between for a little bit, right? Was it weird going back? Like, was it like, oh, that's right, different? Or was it just like...
But I'm always the belief that even if I've been skating with somebody forever, like every day is so different. Like, you know, they might have, you know, like even every day is different. So you can't say, well, I know how it's going to be. You know, you have to kind of ride with the momentum of how even each day goes. And even between partners, I mean, they might approach things differently, but for the most part, you got to put one foot in front of the other. You know, you still hold the hand pretty much the same way. Yeah. You know, a lot of the basic stuff is the same, but the finite, the really, you know, that's what I was saying. Like, even for the PSA, we were landing it all week. What did we do different with the lights off? Oh, spotlight's in our face. Did we change it just enough we couldn't do it? You know, and so you can't, I mean, I don't know. Even like you talking about all the lifts I do with all different people.
Yeah.
And I say, you know, how I wait. I literally am waiting for you to jump. And so that's the type of stuff. Uh-oh. Watch out. Mark Sadusky just joined.
Hey, Mark. I don't know Mark. Do I know Mark? I'm really bad at names.
It's got a really great name. Mark.
Oh, I thought like there was, you know, I thought you meant like all together. It could mean something else. And I'm like reading it back to back. I'm like, I'm not seeing it. Anyway.
His name's Mark. My name's Mark.
Okay, the reason why my parents didn't name me Monica was because my name would have been Monica Cantú. So Kaka in the middle. So yeah, that's what I was looking for. Like something else.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, I did write a lot of questions, but like, I don't know if, so when you decided to quit skating, how old were you?
32.
That's not bad.
Oh, thank you.
Oh. I mean, my goal, I guess, has always been that if I have skaters, that they like skating and they continue. And sometimes they, like, some of them call me and they're like, I want to skate again. And they're 26, 27, 20. And they're not going to be 32 because I'm 35 and probably I didn't coach them yet. But they're 20 something. And some of them want to come back because they like it. So skating that long, that's awesome. Do you ever like go back? Oh, well, you do.
But that's the same thing, like the Porta Popovs. Did you ever meet them up in Lake Placid?
Who?
The Porta Popovs, the pair team, the really old Russians. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, I mean, they never ever gave up skating. Like, and that's the thing I'm saying is like, you know, you see people like that are skating, and I see some showgirls on Disney on Ice. There was one girl who had been skating for 18 years, and the newest girl on the troop down at the end of the chorus line was 18. She's like, oh man, I think it's time for me to go.
I saw just like, I mean, it was probably August last year. This old guy on like Disney on Ice, but he was like hitting everything. Like it goes like this, and then there's people like.
Is he the taller African American?
No.
Oh, because he was on forever. He was a Brazilian guy. He came every year, and they were like, well, he fits the role, you know, because some of the stuff is stereotype bit parts, you know what I mean? And so they needed a taller man, and he could be it always.
Yeah. Well, so you have not officially quit, because I see all these people that have these press releases and like Facebook things. I'm like, I've decided to quit skating, and like I want to thank, and I'm like, I've not quit yet.
but I started so late that like taking it serious when I was 19. So it's like, I don't know. I don't need a press release. I mean,
okay, so
I skated Theater on Ice last year.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna get at. So okay, so you did pairs up to 32. How old are you now? 33.
40.
Okay, that's normal. I guess I'm gonna get there soon. Not so soon. I have 6 more years. Anyway, so you quit like pairs, and then what did you do for a little bit before theater?
I didn't skate much. I was working. I work for Jackson Ultima. Okay. So I do a lot of skate sharpening, even back when I skated. I'm sorry?
Rings a bell. I mean, what is that?
It's a skate company.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
I hear they have really nice people working there.
I hear they have nice skates for people to put on their rollerblades.
Hey, I did.
I know.
Really good. I mean, I did the taller boot compared to my low cuts, but yeah, it worked.
You need a little more support.
It was too much. Like I was getting, you know, like I don't know. Once you go low cut, you can't go back, and it's
you can. It's just you're just used to it.
You feel restricted.
But that's the thing is, so I worked. I've been always mounting and sharpening, and so working for that company and traveling, and so honestly it was really busy. And like we said, it took me a while to really get a solid routine, really know what my place is in the role, and now like I've been talking to you about boots and blades, but like getting that normalcy of working with accounts and helping them.
So once you decided to quit skating, you knew what you wanted to do. Like you were right away like, oh, this is what I want to do.
But even when I was quitting high school, you know, getting my diploma, I knew I wanted to go skate. So when I'm skating, I know I need a job that pays more consistent. I mean, ice shows, we're not going to keep, you know, that's hard. And you know, it's not a normal job where you have a W-2 where you work the same. In the United States, you get this little stub at the end of the year. It says what they paid you and how the taxes up. Like that's a normal job. And skating, doing shows is hard. And even coaching is not normally normal. Like you're usually like getting the funds and so I needed something a little bit more normal.
But was that your choice, or was that something that happened to?
Oh, I was looking into it. I mean, and that's the thing is just as much as I love to skate, I love to do fixing and fitting. And I mean, you've seen how animated I can get talking about sharpening.
It's very intense and I like it, but I don't know. You are always too like excited about like, okay, women technician, it's amazing because not many women do it. And I'm like, okay, stop. I'm trying to get there, but I don't have that much work, so I'm not getting as good as fast. But yes,
I told you just have to do a whole bunch of rental skates. That's what I did.
I did a bunch of rental skates.
I know. Don't you feel better?
No, because the real challenge is doing matrix, man. Like that was, yeah.
No,
Anyway,
no.
sharpening matrix blades.
That could have, when I think back to it, it could have been the wheel you're using too. Stainless steel versus a more just like a carbon steel.
Okay.
Stainless steel is harder.
Okay.
So if you had a soft wheel.
And it's also like, I love that, like when you're sharpening, like you can actually feel if you're centered on those. Like,
isn't that crazy?
Yeah. But did you know about that? No, I'm kidding.
I did. I had heard that from very great skate technicians like yourself.
Yeah. But you sharpened all of Team Mexico's skates once.
Did I?
Yes, at Worlds at 2013.
Oh.
In Boston,
cool.
At Boston.
Yes, we did. That's right. We took it over there.
Because I remember, was I sharpening yet? No, I was not.
You had a flat. Remember we met at the Tongass Arena. You were like, oh my gosh. For the synchro kids, they all had flats and they needed stoning.
That's what I mean. Like we were all like, okay, who's gonna sharpen? And we're all like, we can take it to this lady. And we're all like, she overdoes it. I mean, she does it well, but like, we're like freaking out. And then I'm like, okay, I think we're gonna get them done the first day we're there. It was a little. Everything about that day was weird. Like I remember being so mad, and then I looked and I saw you, and you were already talking to people from my team, and you're like, and it kind of like I stopped being mad, and the reason why I was mad was because the whole team before we got there, I was like, okay, guys, you've never been international, you've never done this, most of you, right? So I said to them like, you're gonna watch that, like, because Mexico usually trains before, after, close by to Russia, like. Alphabetically, it's closer to, for some reason, Russia and Japan, like either this way or that way. So we're right in the middle. So so I said, we're gonna watch this great skating going, and I want you to, like, of course, if you want to clap, but like just remember they're your competitors, so treat them as such. And they were all like, oh, amazing. Like I'm like, yeah, but like you can't like asking for their autograph. I'm like, not yet. Like please, like you're competing too. Oh, it was so annoying. I was so mad. Yeah.
That's the one thing. I never got any of my, like I did when I first started, but later I kept forgetting to get like posters signed with everybody at the competition.
I have a great one from 2010 Worlds at
Italy.
Yeah. Were you there? You not signed it? You can sign it next time you come. Yuna signed it, and I think
see how important a friend I am.
And like I signed it. It was very important. And I have it at the rink, so you're gonna sign it if you did it and if you were there. I'm sorry, I don't remember who was where. I'm so bad.
That's okay. My wife and I, we went down to Florence for 2 weeks after. I think I pieced out, didn't go to the banquet. I was like, it's time to relax. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, but it was a nice banquet. Adam Ribbon signed it. Because I remember I skated with Adam then at the cricket. It was back when
he had the shaggy hair.
Yeah. Anyway, so now you're passionate about the whole like skate technician thing. Is that what it is? Like
very much so.
It's
fun, but that's the type of thing though. Like I had a skater with an issue and fixed it, and then they still got a medal, and it's like I can celebrate their success. Okay. Even more. Like I couldn't keep up the energy to be the skater on the ice, but I can be a teammate in equipment and help them achieve success. And some people it's just getting the test. Some people it's, I want to land that axle, and, there's things that I can do and teach. And the other thing that's going on in the world is a lot of the older skate techs are retiring. So I can try to learn a little bit of what they know and try to then pass it to a wider audience. I mean, things like, reprofiling behind the toe pick for a better axle skid. I mean, a lot of skate techs do it, but a lot don't. And this is kind of, when you sharpen and you get the little bump.
Yeah.
How do you take that out? And I mean, remember that bump is like a stop. Yeah, with a cross grinder, that. I think we went through that, right?
Most likely it was you, I think.
But you know how to do it now, right? But before that, if you just got taught to sharpen skates, you wouldn't think anything about it.
You would
But
just
that's
leave it, yeah.
You would leave it, but that actually causes, as you do a skid up by behind the toe pick, when you do a skid for an axle specifically, that's like a stop. And the larger that bump gets, the more it interacts with the skid and actually catches more instead of skidding like you remember it.
Okay. So what other kind of thing, like, okay, no, let's change a little bit, because yes, that's a lot of the things that I've learned from you. But what crazy things have you tried on, like, your skates and like
I wanted to do the Red Bull challenge. You know, the one where they go down on hockey skates and down the ice chutes.
Okay, but
You know the.
yeah, like
So I made a pair of figure skates like a pair of hockey skates.
Okay.
Because hockey skates actually have a sharper rocker. You know how they're more like 7 foot, and I wanted to do ours with like an 8 foot.
Okay. Did it work?
I don't know yet.
Are you your own guinea pig?
I will be. I had plans to do it. I had everything all teed up. I was going to go to Switzerland because you have to do a test event to then go, you know, the one that's like 6 different turns. They have test events,
Yeah.
kind of like figure skating. And I was going to go, but some stuff came up and I skipped it.
You also didn't want to die and break every bone in your body.
Something like that.
Okay. But then those skates could be used at those like Crystal and like Disney and I now have like ramps.
Oh yeah, no, and that's the thing is I did a lot of work with Crystal and those type of people. Crystal specifically, did you see the show Crystal?
I was having a baby that specific day they were here.
So you didn't see it?
I did not. Sean was here,
yeah.
here. So I
he worked with him.
I just had a baby. I'm sorry, I'm not coming. Yeah.
I don't feel my freshest.
Yeah. I'm like 20,000 pounds like heavier. Yeah. I need 3 seats just to seat myself. So.
Side by side by side by side.
Exactly, something like that.
Well, one's for the stroller, one's for the baby bag, one's for the baby, and one's for you.
That would be perfect if people thought about that. But then, like, that lasts for what, like 2-3 months, and then you're like, I'm just gonna put something in my purse, and that's it. And if the baby cries, I go back home. That's it.
I don't remember diapers, nor do I need to right now.
Yeah. So anyway. Let's continue a little bit. So in other words, what you were saying before, skaters now need a sports psychologist, a doctor, a nutritionist, and like a tech for their skates. Like that's part of.
Well, I think they should know more about their equipment. Generally,
like at the beginning of this question, you were like, "What the hell is she talking about?"
No, it didn't scare me. I knew where you're headed, but the thing is, I don't want kids to be like, well, if I don't have so-and-so sharpen, it's the only one that can ever sharpen. You need to know like basic information about your skates, and then a good tech could be able to translate it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's a hard thing. A lot of people come up to the rink, and it's usually hockey people, and they're like, I want this. And I'm like, you can't, like, that's not something.
But that's the thing too, is they might have been told, I found this too, sometimes the tech will just do whatever they do. And so it's different from what they think it is. And they're living in their world. They've been going to their own tech, and then they go and ask them for something, and they're not getting it. But, you know.
So they're telling them just like, yeah, whatever.
I want to go a deeper hollow, and then it gets sharpened the same, you know. Sometimes it's like that. There are very few skaters that can really tell. I had an adult yesterday that was amazing. She could tell she had a new blade and a blade that she'd had sharpened 3 times. And there was enough of a curve difference at the front that she could tell it. She's like, it's rocking. And it wasn't the mount, same size. It was basically the same size boot, basically the same size blade. I felt like I mounted it in about the same spot. And when I showed her, like, you know, when you put the toe pick down and the heel raise comes up?
Yeah.
Like there was a solid difference. And I'm like, see, you're feeling that. I'm like, most people don't.
Yeah. Some people just want to look at it and then they start complaining. That's why it bothers me sometimes. Because it's just like, well, see the shade on my previous skate? It should be here. I'm like, yeah, but you have a bigger blade now because you have a bigger boot. Like, I don't get it.
Or this was the thing that was the question about the mount. I'm like, you know how leather, as it starts out and then it kind of wears around and then it's a rounded edge? I'm like, it's in the same spot, but you have a rounded front. So you can't take the measurement to the edge because here you have 90 degree and this other one has been, you know, worn and scraped and scuffed. So
the new stuff doesn't round.
No, the new stuff's nylon. It's not. And from Jackson, at least, it's nylon. It's the shape it is, unless you kicked it and broke it. So
So if I cheat on Jackson and wear another pair of boots with the door guys
we can
blades,
still be friends.
we can still be friends.
We can still be friends. Not good friends, maybe distant friends.
Oh, okay.
Like you're not getting a Christmas card anymore.
Oh, I've never gotten a Christmas card anyway.
Maybe it's the Mexican Post lost it.
I'm getting it next year. Next July, I'm getting the one for this, like, previous Christmas.
Christmas in July.
Well, my daughter doesn't understand that, and she likes Christmas music. She was watching The Grinch yesterday. So
that's smart.
Of course, she's getting.
He's green like the Mexican flag. You know?
True. And mean like mommy. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
Rotten.
So,
Mr. Grinch.
When did you decide to become a judge?
When I was done skating, I found with the traveling and the events and what I was doing and how it was helping, like it's too much to be like a coach and really doing a lot of the skate teching. So it was a way that I could give back. And I really do like it. It's fun. And I can be helpful. You know, a judge that can come up to you and help reinforce with the coach. So you as a coach, you say the skater's not doing their rockers aren't clean enough because they're not going up the circle. And I'm an objective person. You've told me this. I've seen it. Now I come up to the skater and you and I say, yeah, you know, I'm not seeing you turn up the circle enough. And so it's not clean. And you can go, I see, I'm the coach. I've been telling you that. They see it. Now do you believe me?
No, I would say gracias. You know, like
de nada.
Perfect. But you judge singles and pairs, and that's it.
Correct. So the ISU category is singles and pairs, and then dance has its own track, and synchro has its own track. So to do any of those three, you have to go down a different learning process.
Okay. Well, I wanted to be a tech. Well, I guess I am a technical specialist. There's not enough. Apparently, I've learned about this recently. Like, there's not enough spaces for like ISU as a technical specialist. So that's why I'm not requested as much, because Mexico doesn't have another spot. But I would do it anyway. You know, like you need
to get your pairs one. They need pairs people.
I want to do the synchro, but now we don't have like a team, so it's still like a problem. And also, I would be at the same competition anyway if we have a team.
Probably.
So, yeah, I can try to learn maybe some other. It's really difficult. I don't want it to be on me. Like, why did you make this choice? Because singles does this way, and I'll be crying. I won't be able to like back up.
There's no crying in figure skating. You need to stop.
There's no crying. Yeah, and I don't. At one time, I'm on a picture. I think I was like probably 16, and I'm like, I have red eyes, and I'm like second or third place at a podium, and I got yelled at by my dad. Like, that was very what's it called in English? Not having sportsmanship. And I was like, I cried in the bathroom because I fell for the first time in my life. It's like, I don't care. Why do you think your competitor thought that you were crying and she beat you? I'm like, I wasn't crying about her. She's like, no, she thinks you were. I was like, okay, sorry, Dad. And after that, I was like, yes, there's no crying in figure skating. There is no crying at home.
I just got the worst score ever.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Hey, no. Talking about like scars, what happened to your skate one competition?
Well, mine wasn't stolen. Like
mine were stolen, but we had to skate with like borrowed skates anyway.
So Rudy Schwiegers is a pair skater, and because of the skates and blades and doing the blades, he and I are at Four Continents there in Taiwan, and my own damn fault. It wasn't the equipment. I was wearing it too long. I should have replaced it. And I even had a Mike Cunningham. You remember him?
Yes.
He said, I could put a bolt through there. And I'm like, no. This is the hubris of the folly of being a young person. It's like, no, I fixed it. It's perfect. I don't need your help. I got it. It's okay. I should have let him do it. So, yeah, it fell apart in the triple toe in the program. And it was like a sandal. You know when you blow out a sandal?
Yep.
And so I'm like, I can't skate. I couldn't tape it. I couldn't screw it in. So I literally took his skate and put it on. And so remember how we were talking about mounting? Just
Yeah.
moving that much can make a big difference. And so I put on his skate, and his toe pick is off the front, and mine is always subset in. So we've got like an eighth of an inch different. So I've tried to do like flying sit. I can't
And
hit the
you're
toe
like,
pick, and I'm like, I feel like I'm in a public skate. I mean, it's perfect for him, but I just couldn't do it. And so I skated the rest of the program in his skate.
but did you, I mean, I'm impressed. Like, did you, because, okay, I did it. It was like a size bigger. Is, you know, Jackson versus like, what was that? Was she wearing,
Graph, probably.
she was wearing, Esputeris. So it's like,
Okay.
it's 2003. So like Esputeris and Jackson's back then. It was heavy, man. Like compared, it was like the brand new light skate compared to like old school skate. So it was like, oh my God. And it was on me. Like if I fell, it was on me. But like, how did Amanda allow you to throw her and like
She's probably in shock. She's probably in shock because, you know, we had never stopped in a competition ever in all our career. You know, you just keep going, just go. And here I am, I'm stopping. She's like, are you hurt? You must be totally. You can see it if you look it up. If you put Mark Avora, or Amanda Avora and Mark Ladwing in boot and Four Continents, it shows up and you can see it. She looks really concerned. And I think once it got set and I come out, yeah, I think I told her, I said, I think it's fine. It's going to be good. Everyone always laughs about the lifts, but I was like, I couldn't hit my toe pick if I tried.
Well, true. Well, I don't know. That's really respectable because, again, you had her life in your hands and she allowed you to just, you know, do that. Okay. So you're just nodding. Is that like you're done with like, do you have anything else you want to talk to us
No,
about?
I mean, I don't know. If you watch it, you can see I'm rocking all over the place. I was focused very much on keeping everyone safe. That's the thing.
So I guess, did it help not focusing on maybe I'm tired or other things?
That's the thing. Like when it's something that catastrophic happens, you know, like it wakes you up. And all your neurons are firing, and you're like hypersensitive. And you just try not to go too crazy or let it go too far.
Okay, so now Theater on Ice. When you started Theater on Ice, why?
I had
Why? Like what? Like okay, when was this and why? And I like that you went into it. And weren't you backflipping or something?
So I was at the Theater on Ice in Indiana, and Adam Blake of the Boston team came up and he goes, "Hey, you know, I have an idea, and you know, I'd love to get more, you know, skaters that have retired, you know, people that obviously have the love but have never experienced Theater on Ice, and I'd love to see if sometime you could be part of our team. You know, obviously I have an energy," and he's like, "Could you bring that energy?" And I, you know, the nice thing about Theater on Ice is we're all diverse, we're different people, different levels, and I was like, yeah. And so about, I think it was like a year or 2 years later, I texted Adam. I was like, Adam, can I still join your team? He goes, yes, but you have to do tryouts. So I had to do the tryout, you know, so I could skate still, and I wasn't old and fat, and
did you have to get back in shape?
I did. Oh yes. Oh my gosh. Because we had the backflip, and I hadn't done backflip in 3-4 years, so we had side-by-side backflips.
With whom?
Adam did a backflip, and I did a backflip.
Oh, he did a backflip.
We did side-by-side backflips.
I didn't know he competed. I thought he was just like in charge of getting.
No, he was on the team.
So he's like the Anna of synchro, but like in Theater on Ice.
Correct. So he gets very nervous. I didn't realize how excited he gets. Did you get nervous with your team?
I did not get nervous until we had like an official practice in our last World Championships, and Donna Mitchell was like, "Hey guys, why don't you change those 2 double X's and that double loop over there, and you'll 3 do double axels?" And I'm like, I've not done double axels since 4 years ago, and we did it, and I was like so nervous because there's no warm up for synchro.
No, well there is warm up. Come on, you get that. What is it? A minute to go around the ice, and it's a group warm up.
Yeah, it's a group warm up, and you know how excited. Okay, so here this is like insight for everybody. Like, you know how excited the substitutes get to be on the ice? I would be a substitute in the middle of the rink, and they won't get out of the way so you can warm up the double axel. So like you barely jump or something. Okay, well I did a double loop, whatever. Like, please God, you know. And that's how I did it. And that was the only part of like the only time I was nervous in synchro, and then after double axel was done, and I was like, yes, that's it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it really. I enjoyed it a lot. You know, and the thing is, they're starting to do some of the marketing stuff like the IJS. And I mean, same thing though, warming up like in France. Like here I am in France, I'm a little jet lagged, and it's like, okay, skate around the rink. Okay, what did I do for my warm up? Oh, I did double sow. I always found double sow would warm up my left foot a little bit. So, did my double sow, and yeah.
Wow. And that was it, like one season.
I was commuting from Florida to Boston. I mean,
were you
with the
flying or driving?
Flying.
Okay, good.
I some of it was before work or after work, and other times I was like, I'd get on the flight Wednesday morning. I would get into the Boston about 2:00, and I'd eat at the airport, and then get on there's a little train you can take, and I would skate the practice from like 7 to 10. We'd go out for beverages, adult styled.
Of course.
After, and then I was on the 5 a.m. flight home the next day.
So you only missed a couple of nights at home?
No, I missed a night at home.
Oh.
So Wednesday, practice, and then.
So, okay, I have another question. Do you think everybody can do that? So
no, I have so many flight miles saved up. I was using them all.
No. What I mean is, do you, like, say somebody has the economical power to do it, but like what I'm saying is, do you think people have the head? Like, I think you were so used to skating with somebody that like you're used to, like, okay, if she's going that way and I'm supposed to do this, like you have like your head was fixed, so like you know where to go with the group. I think, because I think that's the difficulty of synchro. Like I have all the single skaters and I'm telling them we have to do this, and like this girl wants to go there, so like she just like gets in front of everybody, you know? Like,
no, I think that's where you train it with practice. I mean, yes, I did a lot of pair skating, and I did some old precision when I was a little kid, so I know of it, but I wasn't very well trained. But I think because the group did run throughs together, and then we would, you know, like marking and staging, like if these two have to go this way, and you know, walking it slowly. Like what's the one, the really difficult one in synchro where they do the triangles that fold through each other? Like I've been at a practice where basically you got a new girl, you have to show her. It's like, this is what you do. You see this person go that way, and you mark it off. It's kind of like theater. It's more like theater.
Yeah, but what I mean is, like, I think you could do it because you were so used to it and you were like an Olympic skater. But do you think anyone can do it, or is that would be like a challenge to a
No, but I think you're giving me too much credit for the Olympicism instead of saying like I did theater in high school. No, I did theater in high school. I did precision in that high school time, and then I did pairs.
So I started the whole conversation, and we would have gone another way. Now I have a minute and a half to say thank you, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Well, that's amazing. Well, congratulations. You've done every single thing. Now I have to catch up and do theater and ice.
No, you do. You really should. And you know, and that's the thing is then you could do it with more flexible number of skaters. The Russians that were at Worlds there in the junior division, they were doing the double axles. They were doing kick the guys over the head. There were backflips. It was a production. It was amazing.
It should get into the Olympics. Anyway, I want to thank you so much, Mark. Thanks for talking to me. We had difficulties, but anything?
No, it's all on my side.
It's okay. You want to say anything to anyone? We're about to.
Well, thank you, Anna, and keep it up. I like it. This is great.
It is fun, isn't it? I mean, I was a little nervous because there's not much stuff about you out there.
It's like Wait, does it have to be?
Wait, what?
Am I doing this wrong? Am I supposed to have more drama?
Well, no, it's okay. We talked about the Star Trek. We're nerds. Now people know.
See, that's the thing. You can't have drama if you're a nerd.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We have 10 seconds left, so I'm just going to say goodbye. And goodbye, Mark. Thanks. You can say bye.
Oh, bye.